Can you tell a bit about insulation?
Yes, so when the boat was built, they used spray foam insulation. So the whole thing was sprayed, and then they cut back the battens and then put the ply lining on. Some people have over insulated their boats. They've had spray foam and then rock wool, and they've ended up with a lot of condensation, and it's either too hot or too cold. So spray foam I find is enough, and other boaters have said that it's enough as well. Yeah.
And do you know how thick it is? Like how much
No,
was the layer?
no, I don't know. Not thick at all. It's just yeah, it's just this yellow spray foam.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't get so cold in England to have it super
No.
insulated.
Yeah. And in the living room, even when it's -10 outside and the fire's on, I have to open the windows because it still gets too hot sometimes. Yeah.
Can you tell a bit about, is it difficult to find a boat to build on the market, or how long it takes to order it?
I created my floor plan for the boat and put my deposit down, and they had all the steel work, the insulation and the ply lining done, the electrics and the plumbing. That was all done in 7 weeks. So the whole process took me 7 weeks.
So there was no like
there was
waiting.
no wait list. That at the time that I did it, there was no wait list. But I think at the moment it's about a 9-month wait to start the build. You have to book your build slot.
But 2.5 years ago it was like still COVID time, so.
Yeah, I think that nobody was taking any action then. So nobody was starting anything new because they were not sure about what was going to happen. But it didn't stop me.
Right. And about the second hand, you didn't think about the second hand boat or rebuild it, or?
So yeah, I did look for second-hand boats, but there were none with 3 bedrooms, and you can't turn a 2-bedroom into a 3-bedroom if the windows aren't in the right place. And I was looking for about 9 months, and I couldn't. Not one boat came up, and it actually cost the same for a new boat as it would a second-hand boat. And I like that I know that there isn't any damage to the hull that I don't know about, and I could design it how I wanted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how about the maintenance? Like you have to do something
The
to
what?
the boat itself?
Oh, okay. So every 3 to 5 years, I get the boat taken out of the water, and they sandblast it. So they take all of the bitumen off the bottom, and they repaint the bitumen on once they've surveyed the hull and made sure that there's no severe rust. So I'm doing that in April, and it's going to cost £2,000. So although the monthly cost of living on a boat is less than a house, every now and then you are hit with this big bill. But yeah, I just put that money into savings so that when it comes up, it can be done.
Yeah, but regular house as well, you have to paint time to time or
Yeah,
do some
true.
maintenance anyway.
So yeah, it takes about a week for them to take it out and jet wash it and sandblast it and repaint it.
And what about the like driving license? Is there such thing or no?
No, anybody can drive a boat, but because this is so big and I didn't have a lot of experience, I did a helmsman certificate, which is a driving course where you go out with an instructor, and yeah, in one day I was certified as a helmsman, so that means that I can drive tour boats on the Thames if I want to. But yeah, you don't need any license to drive a boat.
Okay, which can be, I guess, a bit dangerous when some other people going.
I think
like they could damage something, no?
Yeah,
when they pass by.
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
they could. But I think it's quite a daunting thing to do. So if somebody's not confident in driving, they wouldn't. But it's the only issues I found are stag do's on hire boats, and I've had to drive their boat for them because they've got stuck or they're grounded or they can't figure it out. But it's all fun.
Right. And the height, I think, is as well, like, could be problem with bridges, no?
Yeah, so before I put all the furniture into the boat, I was too high for one of the bridges. So, and I didn't realise I was too high until I tried to go through the bridge. So yeah, I had to put more weight into the boat so that I could get under the bridges, and it also depends on the water levels as well. But yeah, this boat is quite high, so when I go through the bridges on the sides, there's about 2 inches on the curved bridges. And I have to take the chimney down so that we can get through the bridges as well. Being like deep in nature and waking up to fresh air and beautiful views every day is the plus side to living on a boat. It is a lifestyle that you have to work for. It's not, in my opinion, as easy as living on a house because there's so many extra jobs. And I often say that living on a boat is like having a part-time job in itself. So the way it differs from when I used to live in a house is that I have to schedule in one whole day every 2 weeks to move the boat, filling the water tank manually, having to make sure that we're not using too much water. It's made me really conscious about how much water I use. I didn't consider that at all when I lived in a house. I would do the washing up with the tap going constantly and use the washing machine twice a day. So yeah, it's made me really conscious about my water usage. When I'm cooking, I cook multiple dishes at once to make sure that I'm making the most out of the gas that's being used. So I have to carry my rubbish to the bins, so it's made me conscious about how much waste I produce. Electricity, so I don't run anything with a heating element, so no hairdryer or straighteners or kettle or toaster or anything like that. So yeah, it's just made me really aware of what I was using before and how I don't need to use as much water or electricity or gas as I was using when I was in a house.
Are you happy about the layout, how you made it, or you would done something differently if you would do it again?
If I was to design a boat again, I would put in a coal chute, because in the winter, filling the pan with coal and bringing it in is a very hard and messy job because the coal bags weigh 25 kilos and you have to tip them up twice a day. So I would put in a chute from the roof that comes in next to the stove. I would probably get this area enclosed, so it's called an enclosed bow. So you get an extra 5 foot inside the boat, because I don't really sit out here because the kitchen's at the back, so I don't walk all the way through to come and sit out here. So I'd probably build over this area. Aboard my boat, I run my holistic therapy business. So 18 years ago, I trained in massage, Indian head massage, reflexology, Reiki, and crystal healing. And since then, I have taken on a few more holistic therapy courses. I've learnt to throw away the routines of which I was taught in school and allow myself to intuitively be led during my treatments. So when a client comes to me, I'll ask them how they're feeling physically, mentally, emotionally, and how they would like to feel. And then I tune into my own intuition and draw on all the healing modalities that I have trained in to provide a bespoke healing treatment for them.
So you have Instagram account where you document all your boat life.
Yeah, so I like to keep my boat life Instagram account real. So I include the pros and the cons of living off-grid and living on a boat on my Water Gypsy Instagram page. If you have any questions about boat life or living off-grid, I'm more than welcome to help you out and to answer honestly.
All right, thanks for showing around.
Thank you. And I'm also in the process of setting up an online plant-based nutrition support program. So again, if you'd like more information on that, head to my Instagram page.